horror movies. Mutilation, decapitation, torture. Does that sound entertaining? More blood than a blood bank. Have we got your attention?
Welcome back, terrestrials, to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. We're continuing our Halloween special, and in this episode we're doing 2007's Rob Zombie's Halloween
movie.
Yeah. After being committed for 17 years, Michael Myers, now a grown man and still very dangerous, escapes from the mental institution and immediately returns to Haddonfield to find his baby sister, Laurie. The first thing I'm going to say is this is what it looks like when a remake is done well, or a re-envisioning, or however you want to put it. It can be done well. Listen up, Child's Play. It can be done well. You just got to find somebody who is passionate about horror, loves the franchise, and it can be done good. What do you got?
Yeah, I will agree with that statement. Now, at the beginning of the movie, we have the why. Mm-hmm. Michael Myers does this. And at the end, we have the what he did, basically. Right. And it flows together nicely. Yeah. But yeah, you are completely right. When we were in that moment where Michael Myers could just be like a silly, like, almost like Hellraiser, where the sequels after, certain Hellraisers, it's just like, this is boring. Yeah, I'll watch it because, Right. What did you like about the first half? We will talk about young Michael Myers' section only first. What was really about that story?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is like you said, I'm gonna take that half of the movie. Yeah. And I'm gonna talk about that half of the movie and everything about that half of the movie. Yeah. First off, the fact that it begins with Mr. Sandman, and Halloween 2 begins with Mr. Sandman. Yeah. That's a great little homage. The music, Rob Zombie has a way of just picking the right music for everything. The sound effects, everything, like audio-wise, he is really good at this. Mm-hmm. After he's done the killings and the camera pans across the yard and the lights are going and you see him and he turns and looks at the screen, that shot was amazing. Mm-hmm. He basically told all the actors, stand still, and they all stood still, and he panned that across there and and everybody thought it was like CGI or something like that. No, that was just great camera work. That was a great job at directing and visually seeing what you want and then figuring out how to do it. Yeah.
The violence, because it is violent. There is brutality that is really, like, intense. The kid from Spy Kids gets beat to death. Mm-hmm. And I
knew that little shit from somewhere. I just couldn't think about it.
Watched our last review. I shit all over Loomis. I did not like him in Halloween 2. And this one, I like him a lot more. I like the early day Loomis of trying to, where he's not trying to be a doctor. He's trying to be a friend and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's not going to work. So you actually, not only do you see the deterioration of Michael, but you see the cynicalness of Loomis, where
he's heartache, he's failing in his job.
Oh, I'm gonna help this kid so much, and we're gonna get through this together. And then, just finally, when the Loomis part of the movie is over, he's just like, I can't do it. I can't help you. And I think that's the driving force of Loomis when we get into the third act.
That fucking scene where he attacks that nurse. That is the epitome of what I'm talking about when I say Rob Zombie uses audio to make something so much more intense. When that alarm is sounding and Sherry Moon is screaming and Michael's screaming, like, that whole sequence just says, this is it. The shit's going to start. This is the last bit of humanity that there is in Michael. This is the breaking point. There's no turning back. There's no chance of him coming back.
What did you like about Rob Zombie's Halloween, the third act, the remake?
Okay, I'm going to jump back to something that you said earlier about the shaky cam. I think that added so much to the third act. When he's hitting Big Joe on that thing, trying to get the knife off of him, and the camera's shaking, and it's just adding to making you feel like you're there.
Okay.
And there's a few scenes where like he's breaking through the walls at the end and stuff, and the camera's shaking. I thought that camera work was amazing. One, he caught what he needed to on film, and also it just adds to the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. It's not Blair Witch or Cops where it's just you're not filming anything because you're shaking with the movements of the person.
Yeah.
And it adds to it. In the beginning, I understand it was a little ridiculous. Now, especially starting with that truck stop scene, it is another character in the movie. It adds you to the movie.
The character Michael Myers in this is great. He's overpowering. He's, domineering and stuff. Mm-hmm. The art of the world. Mm-hmm. We're doing world building. The art of the world, the way that everything looks is great.
Yeah.
So third act kills. You got any top third act moments that are like brutal kills? That would be Michael Myers with William Shatner mask.
I fucking love how simple yet how awesome the kill was, where he kills that slut's boyfriend. And just stabs him into the wall and then just leaves him hanging.
Yeah, good homage from the first one,
exactly. Too. How insanely bloody the mom and dad got it. The Strode parents got it.
Yeah.
And, that, like, not so much because you don't see a lot of the killing, but when Sheriff Brackett calls, you see the scene, and it's just blood everywhere.
Yeah. The sheriff.
Fucking Brad Dourif, man. God damn, I love him.
Yeah.
He's such a good character. He has such a unique face that when he emotes with his face, it just adds to everything. Yeah. The intensity in his eyes when he's talking to Loomis, when Loomis comes to town, and he's like, look, if I break this promise I made, then you got to play it razor straight with me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the dude's just such a good actor. He's not a psycho killer in this one. He's not, like in the X-Files, we'll see later on that he plays a serial killer in that. He obviously plays Charles Lee Ray in the Chucky movies and then voices Chucky. He is, and he also has a huge other filmography, but I'm not overly familiar with it. I'm familiar with his horror work.
Yeah.
But in this one, he plays a very dramatic, very serious role, and he nails it. It's so good.
I think also we should talk. We recently did the Halloween Part 2 of Rod's Eye, and we didn't mention his acting, and I believe
I'm overcompensating.
Yeah, his acting in that is also really great.
Right.
So when we're talking about the acting, we're talking about 1 and 2 for him. So, but yeah, I would say he's probably the best actor in the movie. If I had to give like acting, it would be him.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be between him and Tyler Mane. But yeah, he's definitely. I mean, he kills Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
Loomis. He kills Loomis in this. Not in the movie. He doesn't actually kill him or anything.
Acting.
But like, acting skills. Like, he outshines everybody.
Yeah.
He's just great. He's a great actor.
And along with that, also, Sherry Moon Zombie in this one wasn't that bad. She had purpose, and that made her character better. She's not a ghost like in the second one. Her character moved the story along.
My favorite character was the gun that killed her. Okay, so the only negative that I can... God damn it, synergy is throwing me off. I'm going to have to Google that word later. But the only negative that I can think is... I already mentioned is the mask and knife being under the floorboard.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if that's a ditch attempt at, like, he's got to get the mask somehow.
Yeah.
And they would have seen it, and they, you know, when moving everything, so it's under the fucking floorboards.
Yeah.
Or if, you know, he planned on coming back, this was all planned or whatever. And it's not even negative, but it's funny to me to see little Mike Myers in that big ass Halloween mask.
Yeah, well, I didn't mention that. I'm trying to be, at the beginning of the movie, Michael Myers he puts on this big mask and he looks like he's shrunk in the wash. It's
pretty funny.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. I'm going to writing again. Rob Zombie cannot write a script, and I'm not talking about like point A to point B, you know, connecting the dots of a story. I'm talking about dialogue. Teenager dialogue sounds weird. Is young Michael Myers. I did not like him. He didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, I did not like young Michael Myers. The actor, he's probably a great actor, and this is his first major role. His overallness, yeah. But that's why you have people like Brad Dourif in this movie that take away from that, okay? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain kind of deal. You know, it's like, who cares about little Michael Myers? This actor is amazing in it, so. But overall, I mean, that is the movie.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
I would recommend it.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people, you know, shit on all of these, you know, Rob Zombies and remakes all in the same category.
Also, I love you, Danielle Harris. So, but outside of that, yeah. What do you, you got a star rating?
Yeah, you start the star rating.
I didn't write down one, but I'm going to give it a 4-star movie for me. Even though the fact that I don't like that little kid, he still did a decent job. You know, I just don't. I don't know. The behind the scenes made me really not like him. But yeah, 4 stars for me.
Yeah, I'm going 3. Better than the second one. You know, where I gave 2. But I'm going 3 for this one. This one's better than the second one.
Okay.
But like I've said before, I don't like to star these. They're all great in their own way. But I think just that middle ground of 3, you know, for ones that it's like, I enjoy it. I watch it on Halloween time. I wouldn't watch this, like, let's say in February. But I'll definitely throw it on around this time of the year.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think that this is one of the few ones that I would watch anytime.
Cool.
But yeah, I love you, Danielle Harris.